please. May I ask you to fall into the silence right where you are? May I have your attention, please? Thank you. All of you who are coming into the sanctuary, you may be seated at any table. Take that sign off that table. You may be seated at any table or any empty seat. Please come forward. Please come forward and fill all of the empty seats. Thank you. Just come forward and find the empty seats. Get to know somebody. That's what Barbara would have wanted, right? Right? What time is it?
What?
Let's take a deep breath together. Let's just take a deep cleansing breath together. Those of you who are in the music industry, which so many of you in this room know, you understand. If they're not watching you, they don't know when to turn on the microphone. Wow. Wow. Take a moment to look around this room. Take a moment. Wow. I'm Reverend Jackie Holland. I am the senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living, but more than that, I'm Barbara's friend. Her sister, her confidant, her fusser-adder. When we were thinking about this service, we thought, how many people will show? And everybody kept saying, around 100, and I kept saying, that's just not, Barbara. I just kept saying, Barbara. So welcome this afternoon to a celebration of life of Barbara Diamond. We are here to celebrate with your presence. We are here to celebrate in word, and most of all, we are here to celebrate with music, because that is what she wants. And we're here to celebrate with you. We are all here. Some of us don't have any idea who you are. We've never met. And I encourage you to turn to anybody at your table and speak to them and say your name, because we all have one thing in common here, don't we? And that's Barbara Diamond. The woman who shined brighter than any diamond I ever wore. The woman who loved deeper than any love I've ever known. And so we're here to celebrate with word, our presence, and most of all, music. And so we welcome you here today. And if you need anything, just walk around, get what you need, water, anything that you need, and just join us. I want to say that one of the greatest gifts that Barbara ever brought to this church and to me personally was how she was always the one who had a smile and a word of encouragement no matter how bad I was being. She might say, you're being bad, Reverend Jackie, but I love you, with the greatest smile on earth. And I realized Barbara Diamond knew how to lift you when you didn't know how to lift yourself. So just sit and listen, because Barbara is in this room.
Barbara Diamond really brought a light with her wherever she went. And I know I'm not the only person in this room who remembers so vividly when you would say hello to Barbara, when you would greet her, "How are you, Barbara?" She would never say, "Okay," or "Fine," not even "fabulous." Barbara would always say, "I'm doing splendidly, thank you." And what Barbara would say, I'm very much like Reverend Jackie. It didn't matter what kind of a day I was having, even if it was challenging. When that word splendidly rolled out of Barbara's mouth, I always felt better. I always felt a little lighter. I always felt uplifted. And I always felt raised up. When I am down and oh my soul so weak, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. There's no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara.
So in this consciousness of being raised by the love that is Barbara, by her presence here with us today, her energy that is surrounding all of us, we turn to prayer. So we ask you to turn within by whatever way is meaningful to you. Here we teach that there are many paths to God, many paths. And so whatever your faith tradition is, we just ask you to join with us now in a moment of sacred, holy word. And so how good and very good it is to know the power and the presence and the love of God is right here in the midst. To know fully, completely, without question, that there is only love. One power, one presence, one love that is forever and ever seeking to express itself as each and every one of us. And it is this loving power to which we now turn. We turn to this in our grief and in our celebration. For we know that together, today, all of us are one. One in this family, Barbara Diamond's tribe. Proud to be one with each other. And so we bless our time together. We bless it, knowing it is good and so very, very good. And we release it into the love and the law, knowing it returns to us fulfilled thereof. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life. And so it is. Amen. 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 So many of you did not receive a program, but we will have programs during the reception. We'll have more programs ready. So please, if you did not get one, please check the table out front, and there will be more for you out there right after the service. If there is anybody in this room that did not know that Barbara loved music, then I invite you to go home, because you're in the wrong place. I mean, you're in the wrong room. That's all I can say. Barbara loved all music. Country, western, really, she did. Southern gospel, she did. And she loved every band that ever formed in Boise, Idaho. I'm certain of that. There wasn't a band that formed that she didn't love. And so this afternoon, when you stay and you dance honoring Barbara in the dance, you're going to be hearing from Smooth Avenue. That band, Smooth Avenue's band's going to be here, but right now we have the honor and the privilege of hearing Mr. J.T. sing One Sweet Day.
Check, 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 check. You know, probably have a lot of stories about Barbara. The one thing I can tell you about Barbara is that whenever I saw her, she would always greet me with a hug. And I tell you what, if Barbara hugs you, you know you've been hugged. Mm-hmm. Mm. So, Barbara, this is not one of your dance tunes. Well, your normal dance tunes, but knowing you, you don't need a lot of syncopation to get a partner in dance. So I'm going to ask you, if you're up there and you can see Cass, grab her. I know she'll dance with you, okay? Sorry, I never told you all I wanted to say. And now it's too late to hold you, 'cause you've flown away, so far away. Never had I imagined living without your smile, knowing you're hearing me keeps me alive, alive, and I know you're shining down on me from heaven, like so many friends we've lost along the way. And I know eventually we'll be together one sweet day. Sorry I never showed you.
I never showed you.
Soon you would always be there.
I thought you'd always be there.
I took your presence for granted, but I always cared. I'll miss the dances we'll never share, and I know you're looking down on me from heaven, like so many friends we've lost along the way. And I know eventually we'll be together one sweet day. Although the sun may never shine again, I will always look for a brighter day. Lord, as I lay me down to sleep, I know you'll always listen as we pray. And I know you're down on me from heaven, like so many friends we lost along the way. And I know eventually we'll be together one sweet day. I know you're shining down on me from heaven, all I wanted to say.
Woo! Woo! JT. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's a little weird when you only have one hand to do things. Okay, hello. So, welcome. As we all know, birth is not the beginning and death is not the end, but they are simply the parentheses between in this eternal life. We've all read the little poem, The Dash, that says it doesn't matter about the year 1951 or the year 2023, but what matters is that dash. What happened between those years, the life that this woman lived. And so today we come not just to grieve, but to celebrate and to know the truth of who this woman was and continues to be, because there is no death. We are energy, and energy never dies. And Barbara's energy is one of the strongest energies on earth. And I promise you, when you hear a song, when you meet a new band, when you meet a new young musician, you'll think of Barbara. When you see that first tenuous person wanting to get on that dance floor, and then Barbara bounded up, and the floor was filled. That's the energy that you'll carry with you because you knew Barbara Diamond. And so we're here today to release. Yes, yes, it is difficult to release. In life, we are always releasing. We are always letting go. Things that don't work for us. Friends that don't work for us. Barbara, stop it. I wasn't going to say that, I promise. We're called on to release. The womb to the new baby, the toddler to the teen to the adult, and on and on and on it goes. And today, as hard as this is, as difficult, as heartbreaking as this is, we are called on today to release the body temple, the physical presence of our friend Barbara. God made that hard, and God made that easy. God made it difficult for us to release her today because it is difficult to release something that is so loving and forgiving and accepting and courageous. It is difficult for us to give up that bright smile, those beautiful eyes, that dancing body, those hands that never said no when you asked them to help. It's difficult for us to give up our friend today. And to know that the next time we go and listen to any band in this town, we will be looking for the tallest person on the dance floor. And she won't be there. And she won't be there in physical sense, and our body and our hearts will drop, and then we'll feel her energy, right, JT? Then we'll feel that. And I'll tell you, the next time you're out on that dance floor and you feel that little whirly person around you, that's her. That's her. That's her. So God made it difficult for us to release Barbara today, but God also, spirit, life, whatever word you use for the greater power in your life, made it easy for us to release her as well. Because right now we know that Barbara Diamond is dancing in her body celestial. There's a body terrestrial and there's a body celestial, and it is her body of light, and she is now dancing in that body of light. Somewhere in some sphere, somewhere in some place, Barbara is dancing in her body. No more concerns or worries or illnesses or pain. She's happy. She's free. Living in her spiritual truth with all of its dignity, with all of its glory. That Barbara was, is, and always, always will be. Martha Pearson wrote, "Something beautiful remains. The tide recedes, but leaves behind bright seashells on the sand. The sun goes down, but gentle warmth still lingers on the land. The music stops, and yet it lingers on in sweet refrain. For every joy that passes, something beautiful remains. That's what remains for us now with Barbara, our memories, our love. We can shed tears that she's gone, or we can smile because she lived. We can close our eyes and pray that this hasn't happened and that maybe she'll come back, or we can open our eyes right now and look at each other and see all that she has left behind for us. The history of a woman of deep, infinite courage, who, in spite of everything, made decisions for her life that were right for her. And every single one of us got on board and loved her. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or our hearts can be full of the love that we shared with her. Barbara would want us absolutely to continue to live the way she lived. Every day, I think Barbara Diamond must have gotten up and said, how can I make somebody laugh and smile and be happy today? I think she must have. I think there was no day that Barbara got up, at least that I can imagine, that she got up and said, this is going to be a crappy day. I just don't think so. I think she got up every single day of her life and said, how can I make it even better than it is right now? John Updike wrote this. He said, and another regrettable thing about death is the ceasing of your own brand of magic, which took a whole life to develop and market. The quips, the witticisms, the slant adjusted to a few, those loved ones nearest the lip of the stage, their soft faces blanched in the footlight glow, their laughter close to tears, their tears confused with their diamond earrings, their warm pulled breath in and out with your heartbeat, their response and your performance twined, the jokes over the phone, the memories packed into the rapid access file, the whole act. Who will do it again, he asked. That's it. No one will do it again. Imitators and descendants just aren't the same. So there will be no one in our life that will do it the same. But my faith comforts me to know that in the Father's house there are many mansions. And there are many rooms in this mansion, and that Barbara is being greeted right now by loving hands to acclimate her to her new life. I believe with all of my heart that when Alan came onto the planet Earth, that there were loving hands to receive Alan, to say, here you are, let's acclimate you to life. And now I believe with all of my heart that there are loving souls, spirits, whatever you imagine the afterlife to be like, that are right now receiving Barbara and saying, here she comes. And Barbara's teaching them how to dance. I tell you, she is. Barbara is saying with all of her heart, yes, yes, yes. So my faith teaches me, and it holds me in times like this, that there is no death, that we will evolve in greater and greater ways in our next expression of life. Barbara and I never really talked about her next expression of life. She never spoke to me about passing, never. As her minister, she never talked about dying, ever, never once. But I imagine she did it dancing. I imagine that. I believe that. In the back of the program, there is a reading that we use in this faith quite a bit. And I know that these words would be from Barbara. She would say, do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not here. I do not sleep. I am the thousand winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken to the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circle flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Our lives, every single person who Barbara Diamonds ever touched, their lives are better. My life is better. I am stronger and more courageous, more understanding, and more loving because of that woman. We might have wanted not to go through this pain, but then we would have missed the dance with her.
Right. Let's talk about dancing. Yeah. Dancing can be physical exercise. Dancing can be ecstasy and bliss. Dancing can be cathartic. And dancing can be an act of bravery. Barbara was a dancer in the highest and best sense of the word, a dancer of the first water. She danced through her life, physically and literally, but she also danced metaphorically, down the road, even through the hard places, the thorny places. Thank you, Barbara, for the dance. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared with the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd have to say goodbye? And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Watching you and your splendid light gave us all the strength to walk our own roads right. Glad I didn't know how hard it'd be to lose your light so unexpectedly. And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I might have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Oh, I know that it's better left to chance. I wish I'd missed the pain, oh, but then I'd have had to miss the dance.
When Barbara's family put out the call for people to send photographs, thousands and thousands of photographs came. And so her brother was not able to put all of the photographs that you sent into this next video of Barbara's life. But afterwards, during the reception, we're going to be showing all the photographs. They'll be rolling. Here's what I want to say to you. It was difficult when I was searching for photographs of Barbara to use in the church announcements and on our e-blast and everything. It was difficult to find a photograph of Barbara by herself. Did y'all notice that? If you go on Barbara's Facebook page and you look, it's always Barbara with her arm around somebody smiling, Barbara with her head up against someone smiling, 3 or 4 people surrounding Barbara smiling, because that was Barbara. To find solo photographs of her was very difficult, because this was a woman who believed in her community, who believed in her tribe, who believed in her chosen family and her birth family ferociously, and lived out loud that way. So as the lights are coming down, it's difficult. It'll be difficult to get the lights completely because it's during the day. But please, this is Barbara Diamond.
Here comes the sun, here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like Diamond girl, you sure do shine. Glad I found you, glad you're mine. Oh my love, you're like a precious stone, part of earth where heaven is rained on. Makes no difference where you are, day or night time. You're like a shining star. How could I shine without you when it's about you? The rain is falling through the mist of sorrow that surrounded me. The sun could never far away the bliss that lays around me. Let it rain, let it rain, let your love rain down on me. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain, rain, rain. My life was like a desert flower burning in the sun, until I found the way to love was harder said than done. Let it rain, let it rain, let your love rain down on me. Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain, rain.
want to make sure that you love me for me. You gotta know I'm not hurt. I've been me a long time. That's who I know how to do. I feel I do me real well. That's why I can't be like you. 'Cause this is who I am, don't you know? This is who I'll be, yeah. This is what I know. I'm the best in me. I'm the very best at being me.
Got a good reason for taking
the lights are coming up, maybe. I don't know. We can sit in the dark. We don't care. Might make y'all dance more, right? All right, so I want to know, every band member in this room that has ever played while Barbara Diamond was dancing, please stand. Remain standing, please. Everyone in this room that has ever danced with Barbara, stand up. Everybody who has ever watched Barbara dancing and wished you had the gall to get out there and do it, stand up. Family, I want you to turn around and look at this. This is Barbara's family. This also is Barbara's family. Let's give her a hand. Yeah. This is the time, please be seated. This is the time when we want to ask for a few of you to share. I ask you to be mindful because we're running over a little bit as it is, and I'm sure that's okay with you. There's plenty of food. There's lots of delicious, wonderful food for you, so hang on out here. We have a little bit more to go. We're going to ask for a few sharings, and then we're going to ask that we continue the sharing over the food at lunch, and that you just share your stories about Barbara. But I'm wondering who would like to begin the sharing. Carol, yes. And if you feel comfortable, come forward, please do. We are recording this for Barbara's family that could not be here, especially her father, who is at home right now.
Test.
Recovering. Please come up here, Carol.
Hi, I want to thank you all for coming to this to celebrate Barbara. When I first met Barbara, she was really shy, and then she started dancing. My girlfriend Judith and I took her out everywhere we went, and pretty soon, because of all of you, every one of you, and I'm getting goosebumps, she felt accepted and loved, and she became free and really became herself. So I got to say thank you.
Who else would like to share? Just come forward and make a little list. Right? No, Neil, we're going to save you for the end, if you don't mind.
all right.
Sorry, Neil's brother will close it up for us. So please, just put your hand up and, I'm sorry, Neil.
Hey.
Did I embarrass you? I'm sorry.
Now, I'm Steve Mon, and apparently Barbara had a secret life that a lot of you didn't know about. Apparently she spent all her time dancing and listening to music.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I got to know Barb about 7-8 years ago at the Red Cross, and every other Tuesday, I'd come in, and there was Barb with her huge smile. Stephen, she's having a splendid day always. So, just if you didn't know, Barb spent the rest of her time at the Red Cross. So we love her, we miss her. So.
Thank you. Barbara was a prolific blood giver. In fact, there's some documents on the back. We encourage you to look at some of the documents and so forth that are in the back as well, to let you know about the number of hours that she worked, how much blood she gave, and she was always, always encouraging people to help other people. Also, some of you may or may not know that Barbara/Alan was a veteran, was a military person who absolutely supported and served our country as well. And so we honor that part of Barbara's life as well. Who else would like to share a quick share? Yes, please, come forward. Come on up. Make your way forward so that we can. Thank you.
I'm Ann Tippett, and I've got to do this really quick before the emotions start coming. Barbara, it's going to be hard, but because I dance a lot anyway. We were the icebreakers. We'd race each other to the floor to see who could dance the first. And if she wasn't, I would tap her on the shoulder, and if I wasn't, she'd tap me on the shoulder as we literally ran. I mean, there was no excuse for not dancing and feeling the joy, especially with Barbara. And I'll have to tell you, I have one thing. Well, she told me this anyway. But when we were dancing on the floor, when we both looked at each other a certain way, she would pick me up and swing me around like a little girl. And the first time she did that, I was feeling really bad about something that had happened in my life. And I went out dancing anyway, because that's how I do it. And she could sense, and she knew that that's the only thing that would make me laugh and smile. And I told her that weekend just before she passed, I said, Barbara, You are the best all-in-one package boy girlfriend I have ever had in my life. And she smiled and she picked me up and she goes, you know, you're the only one that I swing on the dance floor. But I thought this morning as I was getting ready, and been all shaky this morning, and I thought, listen to the things of Christ and trying to buoy up my spirit. And I thought, you know, the little bracelets that you wear that says, what would Jesus do? Well, I think we should all have a little bracelet that says, what would Barbara do? And when we feel upset or mean, or we might say an angry thing, we just say, what would Barbara do? And she would say, it's splendid. And Barbara, I love you, and I know you're right here, right in the midst of us.
Hi, I'm Marcia. I have to share a story. The last time I saw Barbara was at the Sapphire Room for Fat Tuesday. And I was sitting at a table. I didn't have any costume on because I'm not really into costumes. But I was sitting with a person who was had a full costume and this most elegant mask I've ever seen. And it was just about a few, maybe 10 or 15 minutes after some of us got on the dance floor, all of a sudden, guess who was wearing the mask? Barbara had appropriated the mask. And I have no idea how she got it, but it looked really good on my friend. I have to say, it looked even better on Barbara. Even though she didn't have the full outfit, she didn't need the full outfit. And I said, Barbara, you look stunning in that mask. And pretty soon I noticed that my friend didn't have her mask on, and there was no mask at our table. And guess where the mask went? It went to Barbara's table. And I just have to say, I love that about her. There's a word, I can't quite pronounce it, it's French. Maybe someone can help me. Joie de vivre?
Joie de vivre.
The joy of life. And to me, that sums up Barbara. Seeing this mask, appropriating it, loving it, and I think she even took it home with her.
I'm sure. We'll have time for 2 more sharings and then Neil. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barbara's granddaughter, Brittany. I have a lot more memories with my grandfather, Alan. Best grandfather ever. I spent a lot of time in Crestline at their house every weekend at mountain lakes, camping, taking me hiking, waking me up in the middle of the night to look at meteor showers. Loved looking at meteor showers, feeding the squirrels, the raccoons, the blue jays, teaching me all about nature. I love nature. Those boots back there, oh my God, broke my heart. That's totally him. I did get to meet Barb quite a few times. The smile compared to Alan was just electrifying. Smartest man I've ever met. Education was so important. He sent me to college, and something I can never, ever thank him enough for, ever. It was so important to me after every semester. I mean, I talked to him all the time and tell him how it was going. He would contact me and ask how it was going, but after every semester, I didn't have to call and ask, or at the beginning and ask. He would get hold of me and just, hey, what do you need? What's going on? And just always so caring, and just best grandfather ever. And yeah, Santa's Village just always took me out in the wilderness, and just so loving. And the meteor showers, just Crestline was the best time ever.
Thank you.
Camping, just
Thank
so
you.
wilderness. It was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Such beautiful memories. Thank you. Our last sharing will be from her brother Neil, and again, we want to encourage all of you to share your wonderful stories with each other at lunch.
I hope I can get through this. I look out over the room and I am overwhelmed. I know Barbara would be overwhelmed. I'd like to thank every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Born October 5th, 1951, as Alan, my brother. 3 years later, I came in Detroit, Michigan. Moved to California in 1957, Los Angeles. Grew up there. Went to El Monte High School. Graduated in 1969. And as Reverend Jackie said, went into the service a couple of years, and then graduated Cal Poly in engineering. Worked for Trust Choice. Moved to Boise about 25 years ago with Diane and Lisa. Everyone in this room, everybody on this planet has one question they have to answer for themselves, and that is, who am I? You have to answer it for yourself. Nobody else can. However, it's often predicated by family or friends or society as a whole. But to answer it for yourself takes courage. Oftentimes, we just go along with it. I know I did when we were kids. I looked up to, not only because he was tall, but smart, but above all, my best friend. Got me through a lot of things in school and just in the neighborhood. He's already gone through it and showed me the way, made it a little bit easier. So that's kind of how I looked at myself. That's how I answered that question, who am I? I'm Alan's little brother. And stayed that way through high school. He was a senior when I was a freshman. Nice to have a senior brother in high school. And then it was even better, he had a car, 1967 Pontiac GTO. I had a feeling this crowd would know what that car is. But after graduation from high school, things changed. They just do. We all know that. And he was searching for something. Looking for guidance, looking for direction, and decided to join the Army. Didn't want to tell Mom and Dad, because knew that my mother was going to try to talk him out of it. So he enlisted me to take him to the induction center and go home. But gave me the keys to that 1967 Pontiac GTO. So here I'm 16 years old, and he said, "Don't tell Mom, don't tell Dad, and the car's yours." Yeah, I can do that. So a couple of days go by, my mom's getting nervous. A week goes by, she's almost apoplectic. And then she gets a letter in the mail from the U.S. Army thanking her for the service of her son. Well, you knew my mom. She was on the phone right away. Called up Fort Ord where he was stationed. Got to the barracks, got to the sergeant. Sergeant went into the barracks, rousted Alan out of bed and said, "Your mother is on the phone." Well, the cat's out of the bag. My mom knew I was complicit in the disappearance of her son. And never let me forget it. But I think going into the Army helped to add a puzzle piece to that question, who am I, for her. There's happiness in my mind, and I've told my kids, is the number one thing in life. If you're happy, everything else falls in place. So she knew where her direction lied, but in the early 70s, manifesting that was a very difficult thing to do. So move forward almost 4 decades. My mother's 80th birthday. We were throwing her a birthday party. And I would talk to Alan every week or so, and he said, I have something very important I need to tell you. And I said, go ahead, tell me. No, I need to see you face to face. Now my imagination, are you selling secrets to the Soviets? What are you doing? So I went to my mom's party in Santa Maria, California. I walked in and there he was. Come on. We walked over to the park, sat down on a bench, and said, I have to tell you. I have to tell you right now. My name is Barbara, and I'm a woman. And I could see the weight and the anxiety and the concern on her face on how I was going to react, because I think I was one of the last ones to find out. And I looked at her right in the eye and I said, is that it? Oh, you I thought you killed somebody. So I saw the weight and the concern just dissolve off of her shoulders. And in that moment for me, everything beyond that was Barbara. Everything before that was Alan. So I said, well, you're late to the party because 5 of my friends and colleagues have either made the transition or in the process thereof. And I've spoken to all of them and understand what they're going through. You have my 100% support and backing. You are my brother, you are my sister now. It was always kind of funny. People would ask me, do you have any brothers and sisters? And I'd say, yeah, I've got one of each. And I asked her one day, I get that question a lot. Should I say now I have 2 sisters? And she said, wow, I've never even thought of that. But yes, you have 2 sisters now. Of course, some questions came up. I wanted to know, well, how did it first come to you? And she said right after the service. I knew right then, but again, it was difficult to deal. Well, was there anybody who you could confide in? And she said, yeah, Mom. My mother was incredibly supportive. Help with presentation, help with understanding what it meant. As a matter of fact, there was a local TV station who was doing a story on transgender children and families. And how they got in touch with my mother, I have no idea. But she was on camera describing it and talking about it in limbo, in silhouette, so people wouldn't recognize her on television. Now this, to me, was more shocking than the original declaration. What? This secret's been kept from me for this? Wow! We talked more about it and laughed and had a great time walking back to the party. We walk in the house, karaoke machine was going. And of course, she grabbed the microphone and started singing and dancing. And my mom came up to me and she said, well, did she tell you? And I said, yes, she did. And you can't hold that army thing over my head anymore. Who am I? She finally answered that question for herself. She had the courage to step out and say, this is who I am, Barbara Diamond. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud because I've never seen her this happy in all of her life. And that shows with everybody who is here tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting her. And I will miss her every day of my life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. When I first sang this next song at a service here at CSL, Barbara was present and she grabbed me after the service and she said, I can't believe you sang that song. This is a song she remembered from a long time ago in her childhood. It was a song I remembered too. And while I'm going to sing it for you now because it became one of her favorite songs, she would always ask me when I was here, "Are you going to sing my song?" And whenever I did, it was for her. I just want to say, while it's one of her favorite songs, it also, in my opinion, is a demonstration of who she was and who we'll miss so much. Do not wait until some deed of greatness you may do. Do not wait to shed your light afar. To the many duties ever near you, now be true. Brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. Someone far from home may need a guiding star. Brighten the corner where you are. Just above our clouded skies that you may help to clear. Don't let selfishness your way debar. Though into one heart alone may fall your song of cheer. Brighten the corner where you are. I said brighten the corner where you are. She brightened the corner where she was. Someone far from home may need a guiding star. Brighten the corner where you
Can't believe you're not dancing out there.
Here for all your talent you may surely find a need. Here reflect the bright and morning star. Even from your humble hand the bread of life may be. Oh, brighten the corner where you are. I said brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. 'Cause someone far from home may need a guiding star. Brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. Brighten the corner where you are. Yes, Barbara.
So you've heard a few stories about Barbara, but right now I would just like to remind you that Barbara will never die as long as you carry her in your heart. Ever. Right now I want you to think about one word that when you think of Barbara, I want you to bring Barbara's beautiful face into your mind's eye. And I want you to think of one word that comes to your mind when you think of Barbara. Somebody shout your word out. Come on. Splendid. For those of you who said brave, that is Barbara saying to you, now you take that and be brave in this world. For those of you who said a good friend, then that is Barbara reminding you that it is your job now. It is your job, your responsibility to be a friend for someone. For those who said kind, it's your job now to be kindness, because in doing the courageous things that Alan chose to do, and the courageous things that Barbara lived her life as a model for every single one of us to do, that is keeping Barbara alive in your heart. It has been written that death is like the end of a beautiful song. A person brings into our life a certain sound, like no other sound we have ever heard before. We are engaged in the melody, the tone, the rhythm. We are emancipated from the day-to-day for one brief moment in time when we hear that special sound that person brings. Then the song ends, and the depth of silence left behind. leaves a longing in our heart, a ringing in our ears, and a wish for one more note. I ask you now to please stand with me and give the life of Barbara Diamond a standing ovation. Barbara! Woo! Barbara! Woo! Barbara! Just the song. Just the song. Remain standing.
This for Barbara. You go, girl.
Come on. Don't make me do this alone.
The clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade. Still enough time to figure out how to chase my blues away. I've done all right up till now. It's the light of day that shows me how. And when the night falls and loneliness comes, oh, I want to dance with somebody. Yeah, I want to feel the heat with somebody. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. I've been in love and lost my senses, spinning through the town. Sooner or later, the fever ends and I wind up feeling down. I need a partner who'll take a chance on a love that burns hot enough to last. So when the night falls, my lonely heart calls. Oh, I want to dance with somebody, yeah. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. Yeah, I want to feel the heat. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Somebody who. With somebody who loves me. Somebody who. Take me in his arms. I need a partner who'll take a chance on a love that burns hot enough to last. So when the night comes, my lonely heart calls. Oh, I want to dance with somebody, yeah. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Don't you want to dance with me, baby? Don't you want to dance with me, Barbara? Don't you want to dance with me, baby? With somebody who loves me. Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. Don't you want to dance? Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. Don't you want to dance? Don't you want to dance? Say you want to dance. Don't you want to dance? With somebody who loves me. Dance! Yeah!
Repeat after me. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for sharing Barbara with us. Thank you, Barbara, for being the light. We love you. We love you. And we will dance with you forever. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And now everybody at the top of your lungs scream Barbara. Go. Barbara! Okay, now we got your energy a little out, maybe. I want to explain how this is going to happen now. You're going to go through that room. You're going to grab a big plate. You're going to have some of the best food available. And you're going to come back in, find a chair, find a seat. In the meantime, this area is being cleared off for the dance floor. So the family table, we're going to ask all of y'all to move off the family table and move to another table that's emptied up. And then, so the family's going to go through now first and then come back. Blessings. Let's have some music. Rex?
Never find another one like you. Part of me is deep down inside you, and can't you feel the whole world is turning? We are real, and we are burning. Hey, I'm a girl.
confused. I just want to make sure that you love me for me. You gotta know I'm not hurt. I've been me a long time. That's who I know how to do. I feel I do me real well. That's why I can't be like you. 'Cause this is who I am, don't you know? This is who I'll be, yeah, 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 yeah. This is what I know. I'm the best in me. Hey, hey. I'm the very best at being me.
Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna own me, 2 that wanna stone me, 1 says she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy. Well, I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, and such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if you're sweet love. can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. Do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronc and buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone, but that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned. No verdict was returned. And while Lenin read a book on Marx, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died. We were singing bye bye Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like
check, check. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2.